What's up, everyone? What's going on? Justin here with a new countdown video. Top 20. Top 20. Top 25. My top 25 greatest video games ever, in my opinion. Now, I could have made this like a top 50 to top 100. My God, I've played so many video games over my lifetime. 38 years alive. I started with the old Atari. Me and my brother, growing up, we had I was like probably 3 to 4 years old when I first saw the Atari in my house. I didn't really play it until I was about, maybe 3 to 4. But my God, mostly my brother, because he was older, he had a ton of Atari games. I mean, we had everything. I don't know how we got all these games, but because growing up, I was not wealthy at all. Middle class family raised by a single mother. So it's a miracle we got all these Atari games. We actually had the Atari game E.T. That was a funny game. That was actually hilarious. If you ever played or saw E.T., the video game for Atari. We had football, baseball, some pretty cool racing game. I don't know the name of it, where you were like, your cars are like in the air racing or bouncing up and down off the road. Had a fishing game. A lot of the games had no graphics. They were like stickmen, but they were still fun to play. A lot of Atari games were still pretty fun to play. And then, oh my God, it got a lot fucking better when the Nintendo came out. I don't know the year it came out. 80... I'm not an expert. I didn't look up what year it came out, but I want to say 86... 84, 85, I don't know. But I didn't get the first Nintendo. Me and my brother got it as a Christmas gift, I want to say in 88, when I was like 4. I think it was 88 when we first got the Nintendo. And my God, it had a lot of great games. My God, I played it over and over and over and over. Into the 90s, I was still playing it. Into the late 90s, I still played it. So before I get to my top 25 greatest video games, I'm going to share a few video games that I still have from, not many, from Nintendo. The Atari games I still have are like fishing, football, and Kool-Aid Man. I actually have a game for Atari that was called Kool-Aid Man. I don't even remember what the fuck you had to do in it. But I can't find my Atari games. I know I still have some of them. I don't have an Atari system, sadly, but if anybody wants to play one, you can probably get an Atari online. So before I get to my top 25, let me share all my video game stuff I have. So here's where it all started for me and my love of video games. I did have two different Nintendo systems. Nintendo Entertainment System, it says. I had two of them. This one that I found, because I couldn't find the other one. For some reason, I put stickers on it as a kid. I don't know why. But maybe because we had two of them. So, but I still have it. Here's the damn video game system. that made me fall in love with video games. As you see, I have a Wayne's World sticker. For some reason, I decided to put on there. I was a kid. I was young and dumb. But seriously, it still works. You had to put... Let me do this. Here's my... I have Mike Tyson's Punch Out still, but I can't find it. Here's one of the Nintendo games I can still find. It has dust on it. But, yeah, base is loaded too. Here's a cartridge. Here's how you did it back in the day before you'd put it in. A lot of the games, you'd press power. The light would flash on and off, on and off. The fucking game wouldn't work. I don't know why. Maybe I had dust in the cartridge or it was dirty. You had to do this usually, and a lot of people growing up, if you play Nintendo with these cartridges, you know what you had to do. You had to go and blow in the son of a bitch over and over. And then you had to enter it, push it down. There it is. It's loaded in the system. And you would press power. And hopefully it'd play and work. But obviously it's a computer inside, and the cartridge goes in, and if it's dirty, I guess it would not work. So there's the original Nintendo right here. Still have it. As I said, the original Nintendo. So as I was saying, I had to go blow my nose. It was running for some reason. Anyways. This is the only Nintendo game I could find that I still have. I also have Mike Tyson's Punch Out. There it is. My God, I played this game a ton growing up. I was addicted to it. I played it non-stop. And the gameplay is actually very fun. Still, it holds up. It's a really fun game. Base is loaded too. I do currently still have all the Nintendo games and Sega Genesis and other systems actually on my computer. It's always a blast if you have the original consoles, or if you have them on your computer or phone. It's always a blast to still play them. So, also, with the original Nintendo, this is the original gun that I actually got. Also, long story short, my brother had the Power Glove at one point. I never really used it, but he did a lot. And we had the Power Glove. Also, my brother was what game is it? I think it was, I don't know if it was Super Mario Brothers, the original, because Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt came with the original Nintendo. The first Nintendo I got came with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Here's the gun. The original Nintendo gun. What the hell does it say? 1985 Nintendo Zapper. So I guess it was created in 85. Nintendo. Still works, actually. And I'm sure it still plugs in. There it is. Look at that. That's where you plug it in. I still have some Nintendo controllers. Again, I apologize I could not find them. Recently, I moved in the summer. Right before September, I moved, and I don't know. Maybe I lost the controllers. Maybe I didn't bring them. I don't know where they are. But pretty cool. Here's a Duck Hunt Nintendo gun. And up next, I'm going to share the next video system after Nintendo, I got a Sega Genesis. As a kid, I was a Sega Genesis guy. I didn't care about Super Nintendo. I didn't want a Super Nintendo. I wanted a Sega Genesis. And I got one as a gift. I don't know if it's for Christmas or birthday. And my God, I played Sega Genesis so much growing up. So many hours every damn day. I'd come home from school. I'd look forward to playing. Come home straight home from school. Forget homework. I'd want to play video games and Sega Genesis. And my God, they had a lot of great games. A ton of sports games. Maddens. NHL. Hockey. NHL. This is just from me remembering. I think I have some original boxes, actually, to Sega Genesis games. I know I have them here. Let me see if I can find some. I'll be back. So here, I actually found them. It's a miracle I found them. The Sega Genesis, the boxes with some of the games that I still have. So here's the first one. And I say it's a miracle I found it because it was like under a whole bunch of, I think, backpack and a whole bunch of wrestling magazines. Here's the first one, NHL 95. Played this game so much. Loved the gameplay. It was great. Here's a game cartridge still in there. Here's something about order now some 4-way controller extender that you would put in the Sega Genesis. 4-way play. Now 4 players can compete at the same time. EA Sports, of course, made so much money on the Madden football games. Start making hockey games and baseball. And basketball too, I believe. NHL 96, great game. So fun to play. The action, the skating is so fast in it. It's kind of out of control how some guys skate so fast. It's kind of hard to score. But my God, still have the booklet, still have the game. I played this so much. I mean, I would start seasons in it. And my God, I'd get straight home from school in the 90s and I would want to play this. These are NHL games. These are actually, to me, funner than football and Madden games for Sega. So here's the final game in the box. It's Sports Talk Baseball. Sega Genesis Sports Talk Baseball. I didn't play that much. Here's the game. Still in it. I think I actually bought this at a used electronics store. In the late 90s, or I don't remember the year, but Sports Talk Football was a better game, I think, than Sports Talk Baseball. So there are my Sega Genesis boxes with the game. And here's the final Sega cartridge I have still. I also have Joe Montana Football 94 cartridge, but I don't know where it is. Here's Primetime Deion Sanders NFL Football. Oh my God, the cartridge looks pretty filthy. Haven't played it on my Sega console in maybe 2 decades. I have the game on my computer so I could play it anytime. So now let's share. I'm going to show you after Sega Genesis. I did get a Sega Dreamcast. I don't have the Dreamcast anymore, or any games. I sold them all. But it was great graphics, really good system, underrated Sega Dreamcast. I remember I had Crazy Taxi, NFL Football 99, or 2K 2001 or something. Anyways, Sega Dreamcast was a good, fun system to play. Sadly, I think a lot of people bought it, but they got killed by PlayStation 1, I believe, because they're competing. It was Sega Dreamcast trying to compete with PlayStation, or then the PlayStation came out after Dreamcast. I'm not sure about the timeline. I'm not a video game expert or historian. I just know about the systems, the time frame I got them. So after Dreamcast, and when I bought it, it was from Christmas money, I think I had. And when I bought it, I think it was like $99 used at the time. But it was like maybe 2 years old or a year old. I don't know. After the Dreamcast. Before Dreamcast, I had a Nintendo 64. How could I forget? So many great games. My God, for Nintendo 64, so many great games. Some of the best wrestling games ever created are on N64. I played N64 so much. Super Mario 64, Turok. That was a great game. What else? My God, 007. GoldenEye. I had another 007 game. I can't remember the name of it. 007, The World Is Enough or something like that. But my God, those James Bond 007 games on N64 were great. Great games. Fun to play. I had WCW NWO World Tour, great game. WCW NWO Revenge, great game. And at the time, all these games were $60 back in the 90s. All new games were like $59.99. That's insane. But somehow I begged my mom to buy them for me, or I got them as gifts on the holidays or birthdays. Some new games are still like $60 to $70 or $50. If you wait like 2 to 3 months after they're released, they drop them to like $20 or $30. But here's one of the boxes I still have. I had WrestleMania 2000 also, and the Warzone, and WWF Attitude, and I had ECW Hardcore Revolution. Every wrestling game for N64, just about, I bought it. Except for, I didn't buy WCW Mayhem or Backstage Assault, but I have played those. So, what else? I think Legends of Wrestling, I think, was for N64, but later on it was for GameCube. So many video systems I've had. I get the names mixed up. Legends of Wrestling I had for Nintendo GameCube, I remember. But N64, here's the box. One of the greatest, most fun wrestling games to play. The gameplay is so great. Here it is. No mercy. No fucking mercy. Great wrestling game. One of the best. All new. This was a fucking inventive. Ahead of its time. First ever ladder match you could have in a wrestling game. All new ladder match. You could do tag team finishers, Dudley's 3D. over 65 WWF superstars. Take on the entire Federation in survival mode. You could fight backstage in 10 different backstage arenas. Great game. The graphics were pretty damn good, and the gameplay was off the hook. So good. The gameplay in No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, and WCW Revenge, the gameplay in those, in my opinion, were better than like 2K20 or 2K other WWE 2K games. So what else? I had so many games for N64, I lost count. But I sold a lot of them, and I got a decent amount of money. And I also rented back when there were Blockbusters and video stores and grocery stores in the late 90s. I rented a ton of N64 games, always. And that was a blast. Where I had the games for like 2 to 3 days, I believe, sometimes. Another game that was pretty damn good, I think it was called Dark Angel. Or something dark, I forget. It was like a shooter. So now the next system, after N64, I got a Dreamcast, but I don't have anything left. I sold my Dreamcast from it to show you. But I do have, after Dreamcast, I got a Nintendo GameCube. My God, it was awesome. GameCube was awesome. I mean, the games, that was weird how they made the games miniature, mini CDs. I don't like that really, but it was different. I think I actually do have one GameCube game, NHL Hits. I have it somewhere, but I don't know where. Here's a GameCube controller I bought. Did not come with the system, but here it is. There's a lot of dust on it. So here's a GameCube controller. A lot of damn buttons on it. Over here you got something you gotta move. Over here you got this. And then you got that, the old school. My God, you got 4 buttons up here. Left, right. Or L1. Or no, this is M. This is M, Z, R, L. Great controller the GameCube had. Very easy to hold. So here's a booklet. I believe, I don't know how I got this, but it's a GameCube booklet. Well, it says free, take one. Probably a video game store. Summer 2003. So I guess they're promoting all the games they're having coming out. I don't remember when I got my GameCube. It might have been 2003 or 4. So here's the different colors of the GameCube. You had the black, the gray, and the purple. I had the black one. Also, if you had a Game Boy Advanced SP, you could plug it in your GameCube. Or plug it in a controller hole. So my God, so many great GameCube games were released. A ton of great ones. All-Star Baseball. I actually had that game. I don't know if it's 2004. It might have been a 2005 one. But yeah, Nintendo Game Boy Advance, you could hook up to your GameCube and whatever the hell that little thing is, Advanced SP. I don't know what that is. And there's the original black controllers. I actually had those. But I don't have the GameCube. I sold it years ago. There's all these different colors, controllers. So some of the games that are in here, they had a lot of great games. And look how small. The GameCube was pretty damn small. Look at that. If you had one, you know how small it was. And they had a handle in the back. That was pretty good. So you could carry it around or take it to a friend's house. Mario Kart Double Dash. I think I played that. I don't remember, but it was a good game. F-Zero, cares about that. You had Mario Golf. 1080 Avalanche. I actually had 1080 360 game for N64. Really fun snowboarding game. Wario World. I did not have that. A lot of these games I never even heard of. You have a Zelda game. Zelda, Four Swords, Star Fox, Kirby, Air Ride, Pokemon, Star Wars, Rebel Strike, Final Fantasy, what the hell's the name of it? I don't know, but they made a ton of Final Fantasy games. Metal Gear Solid, really fun game. Resident Evil 4. There's the pictures from it. I never played it, but I'm sure it's good. I played on Metal Gear Solid. The Twin Snakes. Sonic DX, Adventure, Killer 7. And this booklet is pretty damn thick, so I'm not going to show you every game. I will tell you this game was Madden 2004. I actually had Slugfest. 2004 Slugfest. Great game. Def Jam Vendetta. Really fun game to play. NBA Street Volume 2. I played NBA Street at one point, but I did not own it. WrestleMania 19 I did own right there. Really good wrestling game. Really fun. Also, 007 Everything or Nothing. I had that. 007 Everything or Nothing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe I had that. Celebrity Deathmatch game. Looney Tunes. Burnout 2. I think this book has like every damn GameCube game ever released, it looks like, or for the year 2004. NBA Live. NHL Hits Pro. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, WWE Crash Hour. I did have that at one point. I sold it in all my GameCube games. Except for one, I think it's called NHL Hits, and this they didn't want to buy it from me. I don't know why. Couldn't make them money, I guess. Backyard Baseball, I had that for computer. for PC. Army Men. I did have an Army Men for N64. There's so many games in here, my God. Now it's going to show in Game Boy Advance games. Mario and Luigi. I have a Game Boy Advance on my computer. I should play more of it. So a ton of games in here. After GameCube I had, and I got to get to my countdown very soon because this video is going too long. But I just wanted to share all the video game stuff I still have. After my GameCube, I got a PlayStation 2. I never got a PlayStation 1, never owned a PlayStation 1, but I did play it. My friend, at the time, my best friend, got a PS1 for Christmas, and I think I had a GameCube. I don't remember. But, here's the PS2. Still have it. The slim, skinny one. Press that button there, it opens. Well, you know, there's a game in there. MLB The Show 2011. The name's upside down. It's still upside down. What the hell? Anyways. Remember memory cards? They were fucking annoying. You had to buy them, and before even GameCube had a memory card. Look at this giant, big ass memory card. Very annoying. It says Sony on it. Has some crap on it because it's old as shit. I haven't used it or cleaned it. This PS2 actually still works, but the laser inside is starting to die. I don't have many games left for it. I sold my I think I had another PS2, or I think I had another one. I don't remember, and I sold it. I sold a lot of PS2 games. But here's my PS2. It still actually works. And, where the hell are those games? Here are I have another baseball game in the box, but I don't feel like getting it. Here are the 2 games I've left. 3 games, actually, from, for PS2. MLB The Show, 2009. Very fun game to play. There it is. And PS2, I will say I had a ton of games for it. Need for Speeds. Those are damn fun. What else? Gosh, what was that game? That was a blast. I just thought of it, now I can't think of it. It was a rock band game. AC/DC Rock Band. I love AC/DC, so this is always damn fun to play. All the Rock Band games were really fun on PS2. I never had after PS2, I never got I never had the original Xbox or whatever the hell they're called after that, Xbox 2. But I did have an Xbox 360. I did. For about a year, I think. 10 months, and then I decided to sell it because I was bored with it. But on Xbox 360, I had the game Army of One. Really fun shooting game. I had on Dreamcast, I had Call of Duty games that were a blast. I think I had a Call of Duty on Xbox 360. I can't remember which one because they made too many of them. But, what? Oh yeah, PS2 I had. These games were a blast. The Godfather. and Scarface. Those are great PS2 games. I also had Raw vs. SmackDown 2007 or 2006 or 7. Those were a blast. So after PS2, I got Xbox 360, I believe. And I had it for about a year, I think. I just got bored with it. I wanted a PS3 instead, so I sold it. And after Xbox 360, I got a PS3. Here are my PS3 games I still have, and sometimes I'll play them. But I really don't have time. I don't really play these. I just play my PS4 mostly. I don't know when I'll get a PS5. I'm not worried about it. I'm happy with my PS4. So here are some of my PS3 games. Here's a controller. Here's my wireless. I had an original wireless PS3 controller, but it fucking had a mind of its own. Seriously, the controller was like haunted. It would move in the game and make the game characters move. And it'd fuck up your game. So I had to get rid of that controller. I bought this PS3 wireless. I see it says on the back PS3 wireless controller. I had to buy this on Amazon because my original PS3 controller again had a mind of its own and was haunted or something. So here it is. Still works. Very good. Sadly, I actually spilled water on this and it almost broke, but I actually fixed it. Also, I have a computer game controller that actually plugs in a PS3. So I have an extra PS3 controller. So here are some of my PS3 games. PS3 made a lot of great games. Rock Band, AC/DC, had to get it. I have it for PS2, but had to get it for PS3. There's other hits on here. It's so damn fun to play. And here is the guitar for my AC/DC Rock Band game. There it is. Sadly, you gotta put batteries in it. That's annoying. There's still 4 batteries. Look at that. My God. What a ripoff. You gotta keep putting batteries in it to play. So here are my other PS3 games. WWE 2K14. The other side of the poster has a rock on it, but I turned it over to Daniel Bryan. It better be, yeah, it's it. There's a rocks picture, but there's a game. Next, mostly what games I like, still on PS4, action games, fighting games, superhero games, shooting games, and sports. That's all I play. So up next we got NFL Madden Football, Madden 25. Need for Speed Rivals. This game is very fun. Need for Speed Rivals. A double game collection. Sports Pack Volume 1. NBA 2K14 and MLB The Show 14. LeBron is when he went to the Heat on the cover. Double game inside. Both of these games were great. I thought the gameplay was awesome. I played them a ton years ago. MLB The Show 2011 for PS3 because I liked it so much for PS2. And one of the greatest games ever created. It is on my countdown of my top greatest games. This is one of the best. PS3. Grand Theft Auto 5. My God, greatest hits. Had to sell at least over 1 million copies, I'm sure, maybe more. People are probably still buying it and playing it. If it's on PS4, I don't know, but there it is. And that girl, I'm surprised they didn't get sued. Rockstar Games. Surprised they didn't get sued by, because I swear to you, look, that woman right there, the woman on the disc, that is fucking supermodel Kate Upton. I swear to you, that's her. And they didn't get sued for putting her on the game. Her likeness, I don't get it. But that's fucking Kate Upton. I don't care if they deny it. If they say, no, that's someone else, that is Kate Upton. And this giant ass fucking map. I mean, good God, look at this. The map's insane in the game. It's double-sided. Double-sided map. Grand Theft Auto GTA 5 again. I stand by it. It's one of the greatest games ever created, ever made. It's really fun. And my God, I played it for like well over 6 months. I was playing it, trying to go through all the missions. The flying mission, where you fly an airplane, I kept failing, like over and over. But I finally beat it. I know they have like online GTA games that are online new games, but I don't really care about them. I'll play GTA 6 whenever the fuck they release it. So now after my PS3, I still have it. I am not going to sell it. I really don't think I ever will. But now PS4 games I got. Again, the games I like: sports, action, fighting, shooting. Even racing, but I don't have a racing game. But these games are on the boxes. As you can see, I got at least 9 or 10 here. 11 games. I have more that I actually bought on the PlayStation Store and downloaded them. I got Batman Arkham Knight. Great game. One of the best games that I ever played. Really fun. So Batman Arkham Knight, or Arkham Knight, I have that on my PS4. It's still sitting on there. Even if you delete it for like more space, you can always download it again and play it. I can always play it. I also got downloaded Streets of Rage 4. Great game. One of the best ever made. A favorite game of mine for sure. That's on my top 25. So Streets of Rage 4. Batman Arkham Knight. Also, what else? Some other games are like super cheap, like under $10. They're not really that good, so I'm not even gonna mention them. So here we go. First game. Again, anything fighting or shooting or killing or any horror game I'll get and I'll play because I love horror. Friday the 13th, the game. Damn fun to play, really fun. The kills are really cool. How Jason kills. I had to get this, and look at that. Got a poster with it. This came with the game. So, next game. Sports. Great game. MLB The Show 20. Next game. Wrestling. WWE 2K20. I'll probably check out 2K22. I'll probably get it and eventually buy it. Sports, NBA 2K20. Really a blast to play. But the next year I had to get the next one. 2K21. There it is. I'm a big fan of basketball and the NBA, so I love the NBA 2K games. I really love playing them. And this year's NBA 2K22, there it is, with Luka Doncic on the cover. Why didn't they put Giannis on the cover? He won the damn championship, but not Luka. Maybe 2K20, 2K23, hopefully we'll have Giannis on the cover. He deserves it. Still haven't got to my top 25, but I will. Mafia. The first Mafia. There it is. Ghostbusters, a video game remastered. What a game. I had it for Xbox 360. It's a great game. I fucking love it. I will never get tired of playing it. It's one of the greatest games ever made, in my opinion. But I'm biased because Ghostbusters is my all-time favorite movie of all time. 2016 Ghostbusters game. It's not bad, but it's not that good. It's not very good. I don't like how the gameplay, the camera is like right above your characters. I don't like that, and the characters are like midgets and really tiny. I don't like that. The gameplay's okay. It's not horrible, but it's not great. It's okay. Between the two Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters, the video game, destroys this one. But this one's different. It doesn't have Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd or the original characters. So, yeah, this is a great game. I stand by this. This is one of the best games I've ever played. One of my favorite games ever. One of the bestly made games ever, I think. Marvel, The Avengers. Really fun to play. Really a blast. And finally, Mortal Kombat 11. There it is. Really a great game. Has Rambo in it. I think it has RoboCop. Maybe not RoboCop. I don't know. It did have RoboCop to download. It has a Terminator. It has Rambo. And it has a Joker. So there it is. Mortal Kombat. Those are all my video games. Now let's get to the countdown. Hope you enjoyed me sharing all my video games and my history with video games. Here are a few. I'm going to just show these real quick. A few video game magazines I had and subscribed to. There's a 1998 Game Pro. Game Pro magazine from Holiday Gift Guide, December 98. There it is. Next one. EGM Electronic Gaming Monthly. What year is this? 2007. Xbox, the magazine. This is when I had an Xbox 360. I think I got a free subscription. Xbox 360 had a great game. What the hell was it called? Fear. I think it's called Fear. Great game. Another EGM, Ninja Gaiden 2. Another Xbox, the magazine, Halo Wars. Never played that. Guitar Hero Metallica. I did have that for PS2. Game Informer magazine. Game Informer. I don't know what game this guy's in, but it's great drawing, great artwork. Another Game Informer. Transformers, Game Informer. Link, Zelda, Game Informer. I don't know the year on this. 2012. June 2012. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3 inside. And finally, this is my last video game magazine, Game Informer. Also, I had Nintendo Power magazines, but I don't know where they are. So now let's get to my top 25 greatest video games list. Number 25. Actually, instead of 25, I'm going to just give you... I apologize. It was not a top 25. I could make one, but I did not. I just made a top... let's see here. I'll give you the top 17. Top 17, my favorite, greatest games of all time that I played. Number 17. Friday the 13th for PS4, the video game. Number 16, NBA 2K, the whole series. Number 15, for Sega Genesis. Also Super Nintendo, WWF Raw, number 15. Also, I gotta mention WrestleMania, the arcade game. Great. Number 14, The Sopranos video game for PS2, really fun. Number 13, The Godfather, PS2. Number 12, Sopranos is 14. Number 12, Scarface, PS2, great game, really fun. 11, NFL Street for PS2. Number 10, the original Contra for Nintendo. The original Contra for Nintendo is number 10. Actually, they had a cheat code that was great. You'd get 30 lives, so you could beat the damn game instead of getting 2 lives and then dying. So, yeah, a lot of Nintendo games are super difficult to even get far or beat. Because if you get touched once or twice, your character gets touched or hit, you die. But Contra had a great code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Or maybe it was B, A, select. One of those. Number 9. Number 9, Bases Loaded 2 for Nintendo. Number 8, WWF No Mercy for N64. Number 7, WCW NWO Revenge for N64. Number 6, arcade game. It was in the arcades for years. WWF WrestleFest. Came out in like 91. My God, it was great. Great gameplay. The wrestlers look really excellent. The artwork in the game and all that. Check out WrestleFest. I have it. The gameplay on here. It's in my arcade playlist. So number 6, the best game and one of the most fun. Number 6, WrestleFest. WWF WrestleFest Arcade. Number 5, for PS4 and Xbox 360, Ghostbusters, a video game. Number 4, Streets of Rage 2 for Sega Genesis. Streets of Rage 2 is so fun to play. It's still a blast if you have it and play it. Number 3, Streets of Rage 4 for PS4. Great game. I bought it for $25, I think, in the PlayStation Store, and it is awesome. Still fun to play. The gameplay is great. You can actually play as the original characters from Streets of Rage 1 and 2 and 3, and the new characters. So number 4, Streets of Rage. No, number 3. Number 3, Streets of Rage 4. I don't think Streets of Rage 4 is on anything else except PlayStation. I think it's an exclusive to PlayStation, Sony. I don't know though. Number 2, The Avengers. PS4, great game. Still play it a lot. Number 1, the best, greatest video game ever created so far. Number 1 that I've played. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5. If they ever come out with 6, that game will probably be epic also. But Grand Theft Auto 5, my God, it has so much to do in it. So much. You can still have a blast just driving around in it, getting chased by the cops. Number 1, greatest video game. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you liked my top 18 or 17. Yeah, 17. My top 17 greatest video games. There's many others. I could mention so many games. I would be here forever. But those are my top 17 greatest and most fun to play. Also, as I mentioned, WrestleMania, the arcade game, was great. Mortal Kombat games for Sega Genesis were great. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. Mortal Kombat's for N64, so fun to play. I can mention Rampage for Nintendo and Rampage for N64, a blast to play. I had a Godzilla game for GameCube. That was a blast. Or maybe it was for PS2. I don't know. But my God, I've played so many games. I could mention so many great games, but I won't. Hope you enjoyed the video. I love video games. What started my love was the original Nintendo. And then Sega Genesis. And then it goes on and on. Sega Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox 360, PS2, PS3, PS4. I love video games. And I will always love them and play them. Bye for now.